Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're like me, the last couple of years you've been working from home. Today, I want to share with you guys some of the things I was able to do to elevate my camera experience and my audio solution, specifically when we're talking about camera all the way up to 2K resolution with the C302 from Anker, and of course audio solution, active noise cancellation and noise reduction on the microphone with the H700. Both of these are part of the PowerConf solution from Anker to give us some great conferencing for both conferences, school, or even meetings. This is TK. Let's go ahead and elevate our video and audio solution for conferencing from home. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. So there we have it, the C302 and the H700 directly from Anker. I'll start off by saying that the C302 is the webcam solution. So this is going to be the solution for the best video we're able to get. Up to 2K resolution at 30 frames per second, up to 115-degree angle view, so that's going to be the widest we're able to go. 2 times microphones, so 2 microphones for great audio, although we're going to be using the audio used here for the H700. Last but not least, HDR support, and it does have AI-powered functionalities, which I'll share with you guys on the PC setup. Now, one of the really nice things about the camera itself is, on top of the fact that it actually has a very nice large sensor, we also have a privacy shield. They include 2 of those, so you're able to actually mount it in case you want to make sure that the camera is not on by any chance. There is an LED light right there turning on to give us the ability of knowing when the camera is being used, and these are the 2 microphones that we have. On the back, we have a USB-C connector. That's going to be the power or the connection that we have directly to our PC. Mounts on top of a tripod, and of course we have the clamp style that actually gives us the ability of mounting it on the back of our monitor, or even if you want to be able to set it up straight down on a table or mount it on a tripod. A lot of different solutions for some great options here. And again, you install the software directly from Anker on your PC. As I mentioned to you guys, they include the privacy shield and of course the USB-C to C cable to be able to connect your camera. And then lastly, a USB-C to USB Type-A connector if your PC doesn't support USB-C. The connector on the camera is C, and then you can use this for your PC if you need it. Switching it over to the H700, again, this comes with everything you see there. We have the dongle. This is a Bluetooth dongle from Anker, the dock itself, as well as the headset. And they do sell it in 2 different configurations, one with and without the dock. As far as the kit itself, it includes a nice little carrying case. Once you open it up, you get greeted directly with the headset itself. I left this little sticker here just to show you guys, but other than that, we also have obviously the C to C cable or C to A cable to connect it to our PC. And last but not least is an Anker Bluetooth dongle in case your PC does not support it. So everything you need to get yourself set up and ready to go, and of course the headset. Now, one of the other things that they include here is that dock. Again, there's 2 configurations you can buy with or without the dock. The dock itself is very easy to separate. Just remove the back in there and then remove it back. And there is basically an Anker logo here and the 2 prong connectors with a little rest. Now this one's going to be very simple when you're in the office and you don't want to have to plug it in. You just put in the actual headset, the one on the right with the microphone. You'll notice that there's the prongs connectors there. And that enables us to actually keep the actual headset charged and ready to go whenever we need it. And whenever we're ready to use it, just pick it up and start using it. And when you're done, just put it back on the dock. And it's easy to configure. And because of the separation between the speaker and the actual mount, it's so easy, there's no way for us to make a mistake of putting them on. It works and it looks great. Now, some of the main features that we have on the H700, obviously up to 24 hours of use, smart mute, and the ability of having hybrid ANC for audio solution, and we'll definitely test that out. And meeting transcription services are also available using the desktop PC software. AI enhanced calls to be able to give you some of the best noise-free and disruption-free experience when you're using the H700 with either your PC, your laptop, or even if you're using it with your mobile device. As I mentioned to you guys, super clear calls via AI-powered noise reduction, meeting transcription using the software for the Anker works, digital hybrid active noise cancellation, and we're going to definitely test it out in multiple scenarios, compatible with leading video conference platforms. Now, this is talking basically about Zoom, WebEx, or even Google Meet. So those are the main platforms that it's compatible with. And you are able to customize the experience again on your mobile device. But we'll talk about the mobile app, smart mute, in-person conversation, and of course up to 24 hours of talk time. Very easy, and of course you can download the software straight from Anker Works directly on their website, or the Google Play, and of course the Apple App Store. So as far as the headset itself, we'll notice that there is an on and off mute here. This is a button to be able to mute the microphone, power on, and of course Bluetooth pairing, since we are Bluetooth connected here. A USB-C charging connector. Now this is separate from the pin connector that we talked about the dock. If you get this without the dock, you're able to charge it directly via USB-C. On the left side, we have an ANC button to turn on normal ANC, as well as ANC, normal, and of course pass-through audio. There is an option in the mobile app that enables us to turn on high level of ANC, but unfortunately right now, if you don't have that turned on by default, it's the low end or standard ANC, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The jog dial here is very nice, the ability of pausing content, playing it, and of course answering and hanging up calls. So here is the options here, and it does actually work as a slider, so you can actually raise the volume by clicking it and it jumps in increments, and the same way goes backwards. So very easy, and of course you can also touch and pause, and of course interface with all of these options. The microphone is actually a boom style microphone that is not removable. But one of the cool things about it is when you bring it down all the way, the microphone is activated. And whenever it's sitting in the docked position, which is all the way up, it actually shuts itself off and you don't have audio coming through. On top of the fact that you have the ability of turning it off here. It's really nice. So let's say you're in a call and somebody walks in, you bring up the arm, the boom mic up to the top, audio gets turned off from the mic, you have your conversation, and then you jump back in by bringing it down. Very simply. And again, all of this works great with their dock. When you're ready to put it in, you put it on the dock and you're able to charge it. Very easy to set up, and again, it does pair with multiple devices. I'm going to be testing it out with my desktop, my laptop, and my mobile device. One of the other things that I need to mention to you guys is there is some cushioning on both the ear cups as well as the top over your head. Now, this is an on-ear style solution, not over the ears, not in ear. So extend the actual bands at the top, put them directly on, and then you're pretty much set. When you need audio on, you bring down the microphone, and automatically whatever position below being up, it automatically turns on the audio. And then when it's done, it brings it up by itself. And when they're connected, the beautiful thing about it, it actually tells us. It says microphone on or microphone muted. Very simply and very easy. So let's go ahead. I'm going to connect it to my smartphone because I want to show you guys how the app looks like. Now, the last thing I want to mention to you guys is if you want to put them for rest, you can actually definitely put them sideways and the headset will just sit sideways right there. To power it on, very simply, press and hold the power button till it actually starts blinking the blue light, which is for Bluetooth. And it typically connects to the last device that you connect it to. And once you have it connected, you'll notice that there is that little icon telling you that the microphone is turned off because the microphone is in that docked position. We have noise cancellation, transparency, and normal. And again, under noise cancellation, by default, it's configured to be under low, and you're able to turn it on to high in the app. By default, if you switch on and off, if you have it set to low, it automatically goes to that experience. So for me, I like to keep it on high, and that's how we're going to be testing it with the rest of it. Transparency gives us the ability of listening to outside noise. And again, you have the option of turning on low or high. And last but not least is normal, which essentially just means that ANC is turned off. One of the other things that you can also do here is customize the EQ settings for the earbuds. Since technically these are standard headphones from Anker, you're going to be able to get some great audio and customizing the EQ on them for your audio music experience. And the last thing here under the gear, we're able to customize a couple of extra things. We have the ability of changing the smart controls, so automatic call answering, smart mute, auto pause music, and of course auto play music if you want to turn those on. Smart prompt tones, which in case you want to be able to, when you bring up the arm up, it tells you that it's muted, and bring it down and it tells you the same thing. And then side tone is when enabled, incoming calls automatically turn on transparency mode, meaning you're automatically going to be able to listen to the outside noise when you're listening, when you're making a phone call. And of course, the last couple of things here is the ability of turning on the mute indicator light, and of course the busy indicator light, and of course updating the firmware. All of these things are customizable directly within the app, and they'll transfer all of these settings to whatever system that you're using. But let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and start off with the PC behind me, and let me show you guys how this works. Switching it over to the work setup. Perfect example to show you guys how I use the C302 and the H700 as a work from home office experience. Keep in mind, audio is always a great solution, but you need a good video with good audio to be able to get the best experience. Most PCs or even most laptop cameras are okay at best and offer us very little configuration and control. And one of the main benefits here, it's not only active noise cancellation, meaning it's noise reduction on the mics, meaning it cancels out anything. Just for reference, I have a PC that's running at full fan speed, less than a foot and a half away from me here to my right. And the benefit here is that not only you can't hear it, I can't hear it. Switching it over to a little bit more of a portable solution. So let's say you want to be able to work, you want to use both the C302 and the H700 on your laptop. Now, obviously, the camera experience is going to be way better than anything most laptops are on the market are going to have, up to 2K resolution. And of course, the H700 gives you more of that noise cancellation, noise reduction experience. Again, same experience. I have noise activation or ANC on so that nothing around me can come through from audio experience for me to listen to. And of course, the microphone is also doing noise reduction, meaning it only picks up my experience. And if I do and then when you bring it back, it brings up the audio again. It does give you an audible notification, says mic muted, and the light turns red on it. And when you bring it down, it goes back to green, to blue for mic unmuted, and you can listen to it yourself. The active noise cancellation button is on the left side. You're able to activate it by either ANC on, normal, or pass-through, or basically the ability of talking to people without having to take the headset off. And of course, otherwise normal is just regular without any active noise cancellation. I like to keep it on as it gives me the best experience. On the camera itself, I wanted to show you guys real quick the setup or the app that you can use on your computer for PC or Mac. It's called Anker, and it basically works in the sense of configuring the camera. It doesn't record video, but it gives you the ability of configuring what resolution it's able to record, also the framing, the angles, and so on. So you'll notice on the left, we can go all the way from 360p all the way up to 2K, which is the best that we're able to get out of this. And I'm doing a screen recording right now using OBS, so that's how we're able to capture this. You're able to change the angles a little bit. So there's 78 degrees, that's going to be the closest, more punched in image. 90 degrees goes a little bit wider. And of course, 115 is going to be the widest. So this is going to be the widest. Let me do this. It is actually pretty wide when it comes down to the actual experience. So if you want to be able to have a couple of people there, this is going to be really good for you. Now, auto framing tries to do a good job of framing you correctly. So if you see you move a little bit, it tries to keep the frame on you. Self frame is a little bit more where it goes to that 78-degree angle and it actually kind of sits on it and it keeps you focused. So if you're moving, if you're doing different things, the angle kind of moves with you. It does not go any deeper than that or any closer than that. For that one, you probably want to do the same thing we did with the desktop PC, which is use something like NVIDIA Broadcaster if your system supports it, and then you can configure it and it'll work the same way with any app that you're using. One thing to keep in mind, you're able to turn on a lot of extra functionalities within Zoom, Google Meet, and so on in the native app. So those are things that you want to keep in mind there. Last but not least, we have anti-flicker and HDR that you're able to turn on, the ability of changing the brightness, sharpness, saturation, and of course, contrast ratio, and a horizontal flip so that you can see yourself in the actual exact mirror that you're in. Or then, where I'm moving my right hand, it kind of shows me the opposite as if I'm looking at somebody else. There are also some modes or pre-configured settings, one for personal mode, live streamer, and of course, conference room. And that's going to be the experience you can expect here. Now, the last thing, of course, we want to be able to use this headset is with our mobile device, because a lot of us do actually log into mobile conferencing and meetings using headsets, and maybe we're mobile, a little bit more mobile than, let's say, a PC. So the experience is going to be very similar. They actually do have an app for your smartphone called Anker. Now, this one works obviously for this one. We're not using the C302. We're using right now the S21 Ultra with the main sensor on the back, or actually the ultra wide. The reason why I went outside is because I wanted to show you guys the ability of actually canceling outside noises and other things outside of us. I have active noise cancellation, which blocks out most of the sound around me, but again, gives us a really good personal experience. So I can actually set my phone down and I'm able to walk a little bit more. And again, all the configurations, all the options from your smartphone when it comes to the camera.
Now, the last test obviously we want to be able to see is how does all of this audio that we've been using on the H700 compare to the 3CO2 two microphone or directional microphones that we have. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm still using my NVIDIA Broadcast app, mostly just to keep the framing done correctly in the background blur. But essentially, this is what you should expect from the audio here. Two directional microphones pointing directly at us. Even though I'm using the privacy guard, it still works pretty good. So this should be a good baseline of what the H700 brings when it comes to audio and noise cancellation. This is, again, the best that we can get. So with the two combined together, you're getting a really good combination for working from home, school work, or even attending basically meetings or anything that requires you to be present in person in a meeting. This is going to make you not only look good, but sound good as well.
One thing you'll notice between all three clips is that the audio experience was definitely on point. The H700 did an amazing job canceling the noise from my main PC here with the fans running on high when I was sitting outside with my cat trying to make noise around me and even my son watching TV in the other room. And when I was outside, it canceled all of the outside environmental noises. And again, PC, laptop, or even mobile, the headset actually does exactly what it's intended. Active noise cancellation on it set on high is absolutely fantastic, cancels almost everything around you, and of course the noise reduction on the microphone reduces the audio from surrounding experiences so that it doesn't interrupt the conversation that you're trying to have. The setting on the app gives you a whole bunch of different functionality. There's a transcription service as well if you'd like to take that. Those are the things I technically don't necessarily need transcription, but as far as the settings on the mobile, it worked very nice because there are some situations where sometimes I'm not home and I need to be able to jump into a conference call and I want to make sure I'm having the best experience possible. The range was actually very nice as well, up to 10 to 15 feet away from my phone when I was listening to music, and it's actually pretty comfortable to use it for an extended amount of time. The headset itself is light. There's enough cushioning on the ear cups as well as the top of the head so that it doesn't actually feel like it's sitting there for too much of a time. Putting the microphone to the top makes them look and function mostly like a regular pair of Anker headsets. And of course, when you bring the microphone down, it activates it through the boom mic. And of course, you can jump into the call. The main benefit of this camera is the fact that it'll work with almost anything. It's definitely going to be better than whatever webcam we have on a PC. And if your system does not have a webcam, this is definitely the right start to go in there. You can set it all the way from 360 to 2K. You can change on HDR, you can have the different modes for streaming or even conferencing. And that's the benefit here. You don't necessarily just have to use it for conferencing. You can use it for classes, you can use it for meetings, you can even use it for streaming. Let's say you want to stream something on Twitch. You can set it up, use NVIDIA Broadcaster the way I was showing you guys before, and customize the experience to work for you. One thing I will say, you do need to set this resolution in the Power Conferencing app to be actually 2K, otherwise it does not show up in other solutions. And NVIDIA Broadcaster, for some reason, even though I had it set at 2K in the Anker software, it didn't show up anything higher than 1080p 30, although the quality of the picture was still pretty decent. So again, depending on the solution that you're using, you're going to get more functionality. Zoom, WebEx, and so on have the ability of doing background replacement, blurring, things that you don't necessarily need to use the NVIDIA Broadcaster to get the benefit from, but you get what I mean. Whatever solution you want to use, this is going to work great. The Power Conferencing software solution gives you the ability of customizing it and setting the main settings that every other app will see. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, either the camera or the headset itself are both part of the Power Conferencing solution from Anker. It'll give you great video, great audio, and of course, great listening audio, not just microphone audio, if you're trying to listen to music, and you can customize the experience there, either on the ANC, the pass-through, or even on the audio with the built-in EQ to the Anker app. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, one of the last things I definitely want to mention to you guys is that Anker is running a special right now on the H700 over on Amazon from the 17th through the 23rd. There's a $50 coupon that's going to be automatically applied to you. So I'll give you guys a link for that in the description below. And the C302 is also available there in case you want to be able to get a good camera and audio solution. I felt like it's not necessarily just a great experience from audio solution, but also the ability of getting some great experiences when it comes to cameras from Anker. Thank you very much to Anker for sending me both the C302 and the H700 for review. And of course, thank you very much for checking out this video. I'll see you in the next one.